Nibiwabu endayan. Aki miskwi nibiwabu. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho. Nibiwabu endayan. Aki miskwi nibiwabu. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho.
The work that I do really is based in our oral culture. And within that oral culture, there are many different kinds of ways that we speak. And so we wanted to use the oral traditions of this territory, of this land, and particularly the river, to inspire these young people to come to some self-expression for sure, but also begin to understand where they are on Turtle Island, where they are on the land, and the history that is somewhat unseen.
Miigwech kejemana donje ki, miigwech onje kakana kego ne tauging, mijishking wegajig kayamitugog, kakanamashki ki kayamijim, miigwech onje kakana wesi zug kab mordejig, kaneo kadejig, kab misojig, kaya kab margejig, miigwech onje ne bi, kaya kakana karton wenshishing, miigwech onje ne marzwin miek chimigwech.
What I want to start with is how the paddle and the canoe came about in our culture. There was a being in our stories called Wiskijak. Wiskijak was half man and half spirit. He was able to talk to the animals. And the story was Wiskijak wanted to cross a large body of water one day and he couldn't do it. So he asked the pike for help. Everybody knows what a pike is?
As an art center, I think that there's a real opportunity to host activities that can bring people together on the territory to use art as an expressive tool. Here by the Gatineau River, intersecting, French, English, and Indigenous Canada to understand what we're doing here and hopefully generate more of a spirit of being in this situation together and moving forward together. And I think art is an amazing tool for that.
The four elements and stuff has always been something that's like cool to me. I mean, and I wanted to put like something to do with that on the paddle, especially after the ceremony. And during the ceremony, during like a meaningful moment, there was this white butterfly that was flying all around, and it really caught my eye, and I was really noticing it. It was like there almost the whole time. So that's why I decided to put a white butterfly on my paddle.
Snakes always remind me a bit of myself because they represent rebirth and fresh starts because they shed their skin. And I had a complicated past, and I worked through it, and I'm having a fresh start and restarting. And when they said we had to choose something that helped us through hard times or made us realize something, like symbolize, I chose a snake.
The sense of accomplishment that you get from painting is what we're trying to instill with the youth here, and this is a perfect project to introduce them to so that they have something that can help and ground them. It's something that's helped us through our lives, and that's what we hope the youth here can accomplish for themselves.
My girlfriend Leia just like texted me like 2 days before the first thing, and then I just kind of came over. She wanted to, and it seemed like fun. So far, I've had a lot of fun. I don't know. I've drawn that image before, like a couple times. That's the only thing I kind of am familiar with drawing. I'm not very good at drawing.
No, $1.40.
I think I live off $1.50 a year, right?
I was a janitor for 9 years.
Did it pay well?
Well, it's only on the weekends for me. It's not
My house.
It's not bad. It's the issue with me is that the only issue is it's only one day on the weekend.
We're at a place, obviously, where we all have to coexist now, live together. And there's a great deal of misunderstanding of First Peoples. And that was quite conscious in terms of colonization, portraying indigenous people within a certain light in a certain way. We need to get past all of that. We need to get beyond all that and come back to those original agreements of cohabitation without interference. And to me, actually, that's what Canada was built on. That's what this land was built on. But it hasn't gone that way since then.
It's like really frustrating to think about. It makes me very disappointed in my ancestors, to put it, mildly.
For the first time outside of my reserve, going to school in Quebec, that's where I experienced like quite the most racist incidents I can think of. I feel like events like these are completely necessary because we can't change people's ideas when they're already formed, but where we can really make a change is when we affect the youth. We show that we're people too, and we're not romanticized ideas of natives in fields riding horses and this and that. We're just people that exist. And so that's where I realized that reconciliation matters, is that it's making conciliation with the younger generation.
There's so much things that happened to our people, but now we want to take what we learned, our experiences, and make something positive out of us. The Gatineau River is such a beautiful river, and it's always been known by the train that ran through the communities here. And, I like to listen to the stories from my mom about the residential schools and how much meaning the train had for them when that very train picked them up from the community and they traveled through these tracks on their way to residential school in Kenora, Ontario. And that's all a part of the Gatineau River, the history that's there. And people need to understand where we come from if we want to know where we want to go.
Oh, yeah.